I am back at Scheel Drive. I was here before earlier this year, and I had some time off today, and I was close enough that I thought I'd just quickly stop by for a couple hours and just kind of pick around and see if I can find anything interesting. Last time I had some good success in this section. I found a little pocket farther down over there of like rhombohedral calcites with some, what I've been told by one person is graphite inclusions, but I don't know for sure. I don't know if other people have concluded that too. I will try and show you guys. I'm gonna go down there because I wasn't able to collect there the last time because the ditch was like just full of water and like it was pretty high up, and so I spent most of my time here. And then across the street over there, there was a kind of a big cavern that people talk about, and I stuck my hand all the way in the end and pulled out a couple 3 chunks of calcite out of there. But I will definitely show you guys if I find anything interesting. My goal today is hopefully to get a couple nice larger dogtooth crystal specimens, some nice clear ones that are too weather worn. I am in the area that I hadn't checked out before, and there's this crevice here with calcite in it, and I've already been finding some stuff. I've been digging around kind of in the loose soil, and you can see I found some like dogtooth crystals, and I found actually this piece. Let's see if I can focus. Has bits of chalcopyrite, and then if you see that green, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but that green is what I believe is malachite, because you can actually find malachite here. And then I found another chunk that has bits of green on it too, so I'm hoping if I look under the microscope I get some cool little malachite sprays or something. Here's a quick look at the malachite specimen I collected. I'll throw up some close-up pictures with my microscope camera. Nothing too super interesting, no fiber structures or anything noticeable, no noticeable crystal structures, just kind of green smears of malachite. But interesting for this site because it's not that common, and it's a bit weird to be there. I'm not even sure if it actually is malachite, but that was the only suggestion I could find online about it. So if you guys have any thoughts about it, please do let me know. But you can see I've been finding some stuff. Some of it's a bit more weather worn, but some of it's got some nice kind of shape to it. Some bigger pieces, smaller pieces, some interesting small clusters. Some of the stuff is like clearer, bit weather worn. But as I was digging in here, this guy just popped out. Now that, though, looks like he popped off the base there. Yeah, you can see where he popped off the matrix. That is a nice sized, pretty not too weather worn dogtooth crystal for this site. So I'm quite happy with that. That's already made the trip for me. It's got a faint yellow color, which is pretty cool. So that is definitely coming home with me, along with some of these other ones. And I've got other stuff that I'm just putting off to the side, and I'll decide later on, once I've kind of dug out this area, what's coming home with me and what's gonna stay here for the next person. But it's just this crevice here, and it's kind of filled in with sediment and decomposed minerals, I assume. And once in a while you pull out a couple nice dogtooth crystals. Some of them half decent size. It's a nice one for sure. I'll get back to you guys if I find anything else interesting. Found a couple more interesting things farther up. I just started following the vein up and feeling around in the pockets if there were anything loose. Pulled out this plate of calcite. It's like a large mass of just dogtooth crystals. There's some weathering to it, but it's not too weathered, so we'll probably still come home. And then I pulled out this nice little cluster with a nice double terminated dog tooth. Well, yeah, it's double terminated, and then there's a bit on the end where it sheared off the matrix, a smaller crystal. Nice little double terminated crystal, and it's not too weather worn, so I'm quite happy with that. But I'll poke around here for a bit more, and then I'll probably move on to another spot, try and explore another new spot. I moved to a second spot, a spot that I haven't been in before, and you can see there's a bunch of calcite veins with some really good crystallization kind of running all the way through, and it goes pretty far back. I think this is like the really big one people talk about when talking about Scheel Drive. Now, I don't really want to like chisel away at this anymore, because you know, you're kind of undercutting the highway. And somebody made a good point last time I was here on my video in the comments, like, you got to be careful where you dig here, because the authorities will shut you down if you're undercutting the highway too much. But I've just been digging around in like the discard piles, and I pulled out a couple decent crystals. My camera could focus. Here's a nice lump of crystals. It's got some of that dark kind of graphite inclusions. Got some smaller ones. Not a really small, but it's double terminated, which is cool. And yeah, this is just the stuff I dug out so far, kind of in here, and actually some of them came down from here. So I'm just gonna keep digging, kind of sifting through everything, and see what I can pull out. I am doing pretty well, actually. The thought of digging here instead of in there, going far back, it was actually a good idea, because you can see the vein, it runs. So the vein, it runs this way, and it continues out here. And so I started digging in here, and like, look at the stuff I'm pulling out. Like, these are some nice specimens. Even a couple like matrix pieces, but they're quite dirty, so it's hard to tell what's there. But like, if I'm pulling this stuff out here, like, I mean, I'll go in deeper, but I'm gonna try and exhaust this area as much as possible, because there's obviously either stuff that's been discarded, or people haven't explored the vein fully. Because you can see it does run this way. Like, it does run this way. So like, if I just dig around, I should be able to pull out calcites, right? Those are some calcite bits. Hard to tell if they're worth taking home. Quite dirty, so I'll just take them home, wash them, and if they're not that great, they just go into garbage. But like, you can see, like, I don't have to put a lot of effort in. I don't have to chip rocks off, which is good. I'll keep the the Roadcut from collapsing. And I can find nice dogtooth crystals. And these are actually some of the most unweathered ones I've found personally. Some of the ones I pulled out of here so far are quite, like, this soil for whatever reason is quite more conductive to keeping them from kind of like weathering out. You can see there is stuff in here. Just gotta dig for it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Ignore my socks and sandals. I was too lazy to throw on my boots, and I'm not like gonna be like climbing all over stuff or dropping big rocks. So I was just like, who cares? But I'll get back to collecting, and if I pull out any more interesting finds, I'll definitely show you guys. I have just been rooting around in here and just been pulling out pieces. Got some nice double terminateds, but just here, I just popped this awesome piece out. Look at that. That is a nice piece. Good size, good clarity. Doesn't look like it has too much damage. It's probably where it fell off its contact point. That is a nice cluster of dogtooth. It looks like it's one crystal here, and then there's 2 crystals that grew on the back. So instead of a twin, it's a triplet calcite specimen. That is well worth the trip. I am very happy with that. Here is that one specimen cleaned up. Still needs a bit more cleaning. Got a new textile gun, so that should get all the, you can see the tiny little etched lines in this specimen from weathering that just have a bit of dirt in them still. But overall, this is a wonderful little calcite specimen, and I love the color on it. The color is fantastic. Quite happy with this find. This is one of the better ones that I actually have found at this site, because actually, in fact, there will be a couple more videos coming out about this site, because I revisited this site a couple times after this trip. But let's get back to the collecting. I did manage to dig a bit out back there, down there. I felt some loose rocks, and I kind of busted into a pocket with calcite crystals in them. So I'm going to take a couple plates home, a couple other things from this pile home with me, and I'll call it a day there. It's been quite successful. I'd say even better than the first time I was here, so I am quite happy with what I found today. But I'll, just in case there is anything else, I'll let you guys know. If not, we'll go to the cleanup part of the video. Now here is that plate cleaned up and prepped. You guys would have already seen the video. I did a bit of a short video this week on stabilizing fragile matrices. In this case, I used a kind of like an insta-glue, super glue to basically paint onto the matrix, the crumbly matrix, to stabilize it so that the specimen doesn't fall apart. The specimen has some lovely kind of iron oxide inclusions, and you can see that gives it a lovely iridescent sheen on some of the crystals up here by my thumb. But it is a lovely specimen, and later on in some later trips I go back and find similar plates like this in the same hole. But thought I'd just show you this plate because this was the best plate I pulled out on this trip, and it's a quite a nice one. I'll probably keep it in my collection. I like the coloring and the smattering of kind of iridescence that these crystals have. I dug this area out pretty well. I know there's more, but I thought I'd just I'm gonna be leaving soon, but that's the kind of stuff I pulled out. Some nice, decent sized double terminated specimens. Here we have a couple more specimens, one more of the nice kind of honey yellow ones. This one also requires a bit more cleaning, but it's perched on a lovely bit of matrix. It's just another lovely light yellow, honey yellow kind of specimen. This one is a bit different. You can see the black inclusions in there. From what I've been told, that's graphite, but I could be wrong, and the people who told me could be wrong, but that's the best answer I've gotten so far. So unless you guys know otherwise, please do let me know. But you can see a lot of the crystals were about this size when I found them, but they were pretty beat up or weathered because I was of course digging in the discard pile, so I did not find too many good ones. Later on some of my later trips, I actually checked out the hole that these specimens originally came from, and I had better luck finding some less weathered specimens. I am gonna do just a bit of rooting around in there, or just get a bit of a feeling in there, just to see. I'm curious how far it goes back and if some stuff has dropped down. that might be easy to grab at. So I'm gonna do that. Also, I don't have the best storage, so actually a tip for whenever you're gonna take minerals back, if they're dirty and you don't have great storage, don't clean them off. The dirt actually kind of adds protection. So some of the ones that I found, they were pretty clean already, so those I'll just have to be more careful with. But I've got a bunch that are quite dirty, and I'm just gonna keep the dirt on them because that's gonna protect them as the most. And give them the best chance not to be damaged, because all I have with me is a garbage bag, and basically that's it. So they're not gonna, unfortunately, they're not gonna be very protected, or a lot of them aren't gonna be very protected. So I'm gonna have some specimens that probably will have bruising on them, unfortunately. This brings us to the end of this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. I know my style is a bit different in this video. For those who are regular watchers, they've noticed that I changed up the style of how I show cleaned up specimens. Please do let me know if you enjoy the change of pace, or if you miss the old style video. Please also, in the comment section below, let me know what you found the most interesting out of all the finds I found and showed you guys. And please do, if you haven't already and you're new to this channel, hit the like and subscribe buttons, because that really helps out my channel, and I do more rockhounding content. So if that's your cup of tea, please do hit that subscribe buttons and follow for more. Please guys, just thank you for all your support, and have a wonderful day.